Hello, you guys, and happy WTF Wednesday. So this WTF Wednesday video is going to be a little bit different than the last couple that I've uploaded. I kind of just wanted these Wednesday videos to be these weird unsolved mysteries, right? While the last few I've been doing kind of unsolved missing persons cases, this one's going to be a little bit different. This one, with that being said, you guys need to let me know your thoughts and give it a thumbs up if you like this or if you prefer the unsolved cases. That's cool too. So one thing you guys maybe don't know about me is I'm actually like a huge science nerd. I love astrology, astronomy, anthropology. I love anthropology. Like if I could have gone back to school and I lived in another world where I didn't need to make money, I would have totally gone to school for like paleoanthropology. I'm so fascinated by it. I think it's so cool. So I thought this would be a really fun video to do. It's basically like they are just so mysterious and so bizarre and they're so interesting to me. And yeah, I'm gonna be looking at my notes a lot. I try to memorize all this shit, you guys, but I don't want to like mess up and get like a fact wrong. The first artifact that we're going to talk about is the London artifact, or the London hammer. The London hammer was discovered in London, Texas in 1936 by a local couple. They located this kind of weird piece of loose rock that looked like there was something embedded inside. Their son, Max Hahn, then broke this rock open, and inside was literally like an ancient tool of some kind that looks like a hammer, hence the London hammer. The metal hammerhead is approximately 6 inches long and has a diameter of 1 inch, leading to some that it suggested that this hammer was not used for large projects, rather to work on like fine, soft metals, things like that. The tool was 96.6% iron, 2.6% chlorine, and 0.74% sulfur. In 1983, the hammer was bought by local scientist and theorist Carl Baugh. Carl Baugh, who claimed that this artifact was not just a hammer, it was an absolute monumental artifact, like the biggest artifact discovery up to this time. Baugh also claimed that this hammer was pre-flood, which I don't know how else to like explain that if you don't know that was like the Great Flood, right? That happened freaking millions and millions of years ago. He is claiming that this artifact was from that time, and all these people were like, you're crazy, there's no way, like that can't be true. I mean, if he's right, you guys, that suggests that this hammer was made by somebody before the dinosaurs were even around. Like, that's a pretty huge theory to be throwing out there. So what evidence does Baugh and the other scientists that have looked at this hammer, like what evidence suggests that this hammer could potentially be that old? Here's where, sit down, hold on to something sturdy. The wooden handle of this hammer is going through the process of coalification. You guys, it's basically like this wood is being not petrified anymore, coalified. Like the wood on this handle is straight up turning into coal. And the process of coalification can take over 300 million years. Let me say that again. 300 million years. So to put this in perspective for you, one of the very first known civilizations is Mesopotamia. Excuse me, sir. One of the first civilizations known is Mesopotamia, right? And Mesopotamia dates back to less than 100,000 years ago. Also, if you guys are anthropology nerds a little bit, or any kind of sciencey, historical, anything, you probably know about Lucy. Lucy is known to be the oldest human, and she's actually technically not known as a human. She is Australopithecus. No idea if I'm saying that right. And she was discovered in Ethiopia, and she's kind of known as the like oldest body, right? I guess. But Lucy, they believe, dates back to 3.2 million years ago. Just to kind of put this in perspective for you guys, because something that I'm not very good at, which is why I like go crazy when I'm watching some of these Through the Wormhole and Cosmos and things like that, is I have such a hard time wrapping my head around those kind of numbers. Like when a number that large is thrown out, like my brain just kind of stops and I'm just like, I can't even. So 300 million years ago is when this hammer essentially can be carbon dated back to. So the theory about this is that there's actually a lot of paleoanthropologists and scientists who believe that back before there were dinosaurs, there's a lot of people who have theories that there was actually like a whole human race, like a whole, I don't want to go as far to say civilization, but there was species on the earth back, I mean, the earth is billions of years old, you guys. Like, we can't possibly think that the dinosaurs 60 million years ago were the first kind of living species on the planet. There's a lot of people that believe that there were civilizations back then that had died out, and then here we are, then we discover dinosaurs and so on and so forth, right? So this hammer is pretty freaking cool and pretty freaking interesting to me anyway. Like, it honestly could suggest that theory is very possible. Now, I'm not going to go into all of the details, but there's also a lot of controversy and theories around this London hammer, that it was not in fact that old, and that petrification, coalification, things like that can happen in a shorter period of time than 300 million years. Now, there is also some other evidence of why it is suggested that this hammer was from pre-flood times, and I'm not gonna get into all of that. Like, it's a whole lot. Really, every single one of these artifacts I'm gonna go over could have their own freaking video. There's so many things. Anyway, what do you guys think? Definitely go down a rabbit hole and research and tell me what your thoughts are. This is pretty insane if it's true, if it's real, if someone can prove that this hammer's 300 million years old. Like, that's insane. All right, the next artifact. I honestly have not had enough coffee yet this morning. The next artifact that I want to talk about is one that may be a little bit more well known to people, and it is the Voynich Manuscript. This specific situation is so insane. I'll link down below a couple podcasts that I listen to. There's so much information about the Voynich Manuscript, you guys. I can't even begin to break the surface in a couple of minutes. Please don't be mad if you're like a Voynich Manuscript expert. Definitely do your own research and look into it, because it's really freaking insane. The Voynich Manuscript was purchased back in 1912 by a man named Wilfrid Voynich, which is obviously where the name comes from. The manuscript is an illustrated, coded, handwritten book that still to this day is unknown. I mean, the writing system in this book has never been debunked, I guess. The manuscript has been carbon dated back to the early 15th century, and some people believe it may have been written in the early days of the Italian Renaissance. The world's top archaeologists, linguists, scientists have studied this book, you guys, and to this day, nobody knows what language it is written. The book has 240 pages. However, we do know that there are some sections and pages missing from the book. We don't know how many, so the actual page count still remains a mystery, but the one we have now has 240 pages. So as I'm kind of popping some pictures in here for you guys, you can see that this book is written in some sort of writing, and scientists know this. They know that this wasn't just like someone freaking writing some gibberish shit down, because we do know enough about the writing that we know that there are different symbols and words that have been repeated, you know, multifarious times throughout the book. We also know that the book was written left to right, just like our English writing system is today. Something that I think is really strange and also kind of incredible is that this book was written with no mistakes. Like there's nothing to suggest that anything was crossed off or rewritten, or you know what I mean? Like everything was written so beautifully and perfectly. From what we know, the book has 6 different sections, and these are herbal, astronomical, balneological, cosmological, pharmaceutical, and recipe. We know this basically based off of the insanely like intricate and just honestly weird as shit illustrations that you see throughout the book. These are kind of the biggest hints as to what the book is about and the story that it's telling. However, what's also crazy about these illustrations is that a lot of them make 0 sense, and they're very intricate, well thought out, again, no mistakes. Like whoever wrote and drew this knew what they were doing, you guys. It's pretty cool looking through these photos. Something really interesting is that during kind of a lot of illustrations of different plants and different species that we don't even know what they are. Like I said, the world's top scientists and biologists have studied this, and they're like, no clue what this flower is, no idea what this animal is. Like this manuscript is just so mysterious, and nobody really knows where the hell it came from, what's even written in it. And what I find so crazy is the ancient languages that we've been able to decode and read. And for some reason, this one, which is much newer than a lot of ones that we've been able to translate, it's a lot newer and a lot more well preserved, and we still have no idea what the hell it says. So some of the theories are that can't translate this because it's not from Earth, right? Like it's almost as if somebody was here on our blue planet, like researching shit and writing down like all of these things that they're finding out on planet Earth, which you guys, you know, I am a ancient aliens theorist. Call me Giorgio Tsoukalos, okay? If you don't know who he is, we can't be friends. Anyway, there could possibly be some truth to this. Do I think it's pretty far-fetched? Yes, but I don't know. Like, there's nothing that really suggests otherwise. It's basically a book that looks like somebody has been studying all of these different things on our planet. So I'm just gonna throw it out there, okay? There's also a theory that this book is a massive hoax. There's actually a lot of information on this that you can read about. And this beautiful, like, delicate writing, that's pretty crazy. And I mean, stranger things have happened. Like, it could totally be a hoax. People back in the Italian Renaissance had a sense of humor too, you know. They could have been like, I'm gonna write this crazy ass book, and in the 21st century, people are gonna be freaking out about it. I wouldn't blame them for doing that. Anywho, there is so much more to this manuscript, you guys, so please do your own research. There's a lot that I'm not going to go into because it's actually quite complicated. There's a lot of different names, there's a lot of different whereabouts of the book. It's been passed around so many times. There's a lot of detail behind it, so I definitely suggest, if this is sparking your interest, to go look into it because it's so cool. All right, I'm gonna go into the last architect. Unsubscribe. Do it. Who even am I? The next and final artifact that I'm going to be talking about, and I will butcher this name every time. I don't know why it's so hard for me to pronounce. Antikythera Antikythera. This thing's pretty cool. And there's a full documentary for free on YouTube that you can watch on this, so I'll make sure I link it down below. Because just like the Voynich Manuscript, you guys, there's so much like information about this that this video would be 3 hours long if I went into everything. So the Antikythera Mechanism, retrieved from an ancient Greek shipwreck that was discovered off the coast of Antikythera, Greece in 1901. This instrument is believed to have been designed and created by ancient Greek scientists, and it's been variously dated. You'll find a couple different dates. They're all around 87 BC. However, there are some that believe it's closer to 100 BC, so give or take, whatever that is, 15 years or so. Detailed imaging of the mechanism suggests that it has 27 to 37 gears, which enable it to follow the movements of the moon, the sun, the zodiac, predicting solar eclipses, and even to model the irregular orbit of the moon. This device can also do so many other things, you guys. It had, you know, the Greek alphabet, it was a calendar. This mechanism was extremely technologically advanced for this time. This device is even known as the first known computer to ever be found. And this kind of instrument wasn't seen again until 14th century. The Antikythera Mechanism to this day is, again, just like the others, no one really knows how it was made. I mean, it can do some crazy shit, you guys. Like, please look into this. It's insane. It's incredible. Like, how this device was created is so cool, and it just looks cool. Like, look at the pictures of it. Like, that shit is pretty crazy. And I'm not gonna go too much further into this because, again, like, I can't really go much further into it without diving into a whole situation. So I definitely can do a video on some of these if you guys want, but I kind of just wanted to do, like, I don't know, let you guys decide if you want to do any further research on it. But it's pretty freaking cool, and there aren't really any theories of how this was made, but I can't help it, you guys. Like, I am not one of those people who just believes in coincidences. Like, I get there's so many people who, you know, I'm not gonna like jump on my soapbox or anything, but like, so many people just say, oh, well, you know, they were smart. It was a coincidence. They figured it out. Like, no, they fucking didn't, you guys. Like, that's, to me, that doesn't work. That, I don't know. Also, aliens isn't very likely either. I get that, but you have to ask yourself how the hell something like this was made with absolutely no explanation. And what I also find weird about some of these ancient objects that just blow your mind as to how they were created is a lot of times it's just a few things that are found. Like, if they were able to create this computer device, mechanism, whatever you want to call it, then, like, why is there not a whole bunch of other evidence of all these other crazy technological things that were created? Like, I get they could just be unknown and unfound at this point, but to me, it's just weird that if someone had that much knowledge and that much expertise and there was the technology to make that, then there was the technology to do a lot of other things back then. And it's just interesting to me that a lot of these things found, it's kind of like a one-off thing. And what I also find interesting is that a huge part of this device was astrological. Like, it was able to track different aspects of outer space, which at this time, how do these people even know what outer space is? You know, how do they even know what the moon is? I mean, at this point in time, the moon was just a big bright ass star to people. So the fact that it was able to track like the orbit of the moon and shit. Like, it's very fishy to me, okay? It screams ancient aliens to me. Where's Giorgio Tsoukalos? Can we get him on the phone, please? Anyway, I'm gonna lose a bunch of followers now because I'm talking about Giorgio Tsoukalos. I think he's freaking crazy, you guys. I'm just trying to be funny. All right, I think I'm gonna call it here. I'm getting weird. I'm getting weird over here, okay? If you've even made it this far in this video right now, we're best friends. All right, if you guys enjoy this video, please let me know. I know it's kind of something different than I've been normally doing, but this is the shit that I love, that I am so nerdy and passionate about. So I hope you guys like it, and let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I would love to kind of hear your theories and your thoughts, and yeah, go watch these documentaries and these YouTube videos and podcasts and get all the details and let me know your guys' thoughts. I'll see you guys in my next video. Thank you so much. I love you all.